Dear fellow coders, welcome to One Little Coder. Storytelling is an art, all of us know that. And storytelling coupled with comic, it's a beautiful art that a lot of us would have followed when we were kids or even now. What if you could combine storytelling with data, of course, and comic? So that is where ComicGen, which is an initiative by Gramener, is going to be really helpful. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create comics using ComicGen. ComicGen, let me just start with showing first what is ComicGen. So ComicGen is like a web app where you can go and design comic and you can couple it with data. For example, if I want a female, particularly let's say talking about something, so I can just create a female who has like bindi, which is like an Indian thing. And if you do not want, if you want to change something, like you can change something, or if you want to change the avatar, you can change something like this. You can make them feel angry, you can make them curious. You have a lot of different options. So basically you do this thing, you make a comic and then you put it on a PowerPoint or Word document, and then you take a screenshot, then you have got your comic strip ready. So this is the first way. The second way is you can like we did, you can do this thing. The second way is you can actually run your own server and then make the comic with JavaScript. Okay, and the other way is you have a Power BI plugin, so you can of course use Power BI plugin. The other way is now you can use the REST API and then try to connect it with any programming language that you have got. But what I'm going to particularly focus in this particular video is the easiest way that anybody can create a comic using ComicGen without any specific requirement, that is using Google Spreadsheet. So Google Spreadsheet is available for anybody anywhere on the planet if you have got a browser. And what I'm going to show you is how you can create a comic that just looks like this. Maybe I'm not that creative to show you a very good comic or make you laugh or make you think, but what I can show you is that how you can make something like this that you can start using as part of your presentations. So if you go to data comics, you would probably see a lot of examples where Gramener or the data ComicGen community has put together. You can see all these different kind of things that they've built and how are they using it and what kind of conversations are they building it, like how are they doing storytelling with ComicGen. Definitely check this out. I'll link all these links in the YouTube description. You can check it out. But I'm going to focus on one particular tutorial that Richie has put out. So thanks to Richie for making this, Richie Lionel, for making this amazing tutorial. I'm going to basically make you a video tutorial of this thing and also add some little bit flavor. So this tutorial has a lot of component. You should definitely check it out if you like to read, but if you prefer watching a video, I think this video is for you. So let's get started. First thing is I'm going to show you how to make this thing, but I'm going to start from scratch. Okay, so the first thing is you need a new spreadsheet. So I'm going to do sheets.new. So that's going to create a new spreadsheet for me. Next, while the spreadsheet is spun up, so I'm going to create a title saying ComicGen comic creation with sheets. Okay, and I have to go to the ComicGen creator, cartoon character creator or comic creator. I'm going to select a character first. So let's say in my case, I like this character, but probably I don't want this character to be curious. So maybe I want this character to smile. Oh, that's nice. Hand folded and holding coffee. Okay, that looks good. So now after I select the character, if I'm fine with the colors, the shirt, face, like do all the customization, maybe this is good. Oops, yeah, yeah, this is good. I like this color. And the face color you want, I'm a little dark, so I would select somewhere here. So after I select this thing, I'm going to, okay, do I want to mirror? I don't want to mirror. After I select this thing, I'm going to copy. If I mirror it, you can see what is going to happen, like this. Okay, so I want to go here, the PNG, right click it and then copy link address. And after I copy link address, I'm going to go here and in the place I'm going to add the URLs. So let me call it URL for now. I'm going to add the URL here. And what is this character? So let me get the character name here. Oops, sorry. Let me give the character name. It is Deunovo. I don't know how they call it. Deunovo. Is it correct? Yeah, Deunovo. After I have this character here, let's say I want to put the comic here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say it's equal to image of, I'm going to select this URL, right? And after I do this thing, you can see that the character, the comic character has come here. So now what do I do to increase the size of this character? I have to do like this. I have to do like this. Now my character is increased. But maybe suddenly I start thinking, oh, my character is good, but I want just the face. Like I want just the coffee part. I don't want the rest of the thing because it doesn't add value to my cartoon, like or the story that I'm trying to tell. So maybe I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a parameter like ampersand, and then I'm going to say I want a scale of let's say 2, and I want y of 100. When I do this thing, you would see that there is a change. Like now I've got what I wanted. So I've increased the scale and then I've cut the y, so what I want to cover. So now that I've got a comic character, let's say now I want to, what do I want to do next? I want to add a speech bubble. I want to make that the character is talking. So now I'm going to go back to the ComicGen. I'm going to find the speech bubble. So if you select the name, one of the things that you would see is, like, you can also see Donald Trump, right? A brown color Donald Trump. Okay, speech bubble. So when I select speech bubble, you can see that I've got a speech bubble and it has a lot of options. Do I want to mirror it? Do I not want to mirror it? And then, you know, where should my X should be? Like for example, if I have a character this side, I would probably prefer the bubble this side, or I can mirror the character. For example, I can go back here and then say ampersand mirror is equal to 1. Is it 1? It should be 1. It's not 1. Okay, it's not 1. Let me go see what is the value. Mirror is equal to, if I do this thing, you can see mirror is equal to mirror. So when I do mirror is equal to mirror, you can see the character should ideally flip. It didn't. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, so technically the character is already mirrored, so I was trying to do that. So now the character would have shifted. Okay, so instead of keeping the character here, I'm going to keep the character here. Now I'm going to go back here and go to my speech bubble, and I'm going to calculate. I'm going to get my speech. So in this case, I'm going to say this is basically what I want. I think everything looks fine. So I'm going to copy this link png. Oh sorry, I have to, oh sorry, I want to save it. Just right click, copy the link address, come back here and then say speech bubble. I don't have to say this thing, this is just for my reference. Okay, now I've copied the speech bubble and I'm going to say equals image of URL, and then I should ideally have the speech bubble in place. I have the speech bubble in place, but I think the scale is too big. I don't want this big scale. So I'm going to basically add a parameter somewhere in the middle. Maybe that's the easiest thing for me to do. Ampersand scale is equal to, I want to say probably 1.23, maybe. Yeah, let's see, 1.23. Oh, that's bad. Can I change it to 1.5? That doesn't look good either. So maybe let me get hidden width out and then see. Okay, now that doesn't show up at all. Let me try one more thing, which is I'm going to say scale is equal to 1. I need to probably add, let me see if I have anything else. Yeah, I think, okay, so the problem is I think I've got a bunch of scale. So if I do this, do I see anything? I don't see anything particularly because I don't have weight is equal to, sorry, width is equal to 100 pixels, or maybe I should just copy paste it here. Copy the link, copy it, come back here and paste it. When I do that, I get this thing. I don't want the scale, so I'm going to say 0.5 is my scale. Okay, so now I think this looks okay, fine. I can further scale it down if you want. Let's say like I can say 2.5. I can further scale it down. It looks like this, but maybe let's stick to 0.5. and then we can change the font size. In this case the font size is like this. So now I think you get the point. So what we are trying to do here, so maybe I can change the height and width as well, so it would look like this. But if I stick to something before, so it looks like this. Now if you see this thing, so the text inside this is actually, you know, like the same text, comic speech bubble. So what can we do? So let's say I want this text, let's say text is equal to, I'm going to say, wow, this is awesome, and then I want to add an emoticon. I want another emoticon. Okay, or I should say ComicGen is awesome. Okay, so now I want to say, wow, ComicGen is awesome. So how can I say that? So all I have to do is this. First I have to encode this. This has to be encoded, because it's going to be part of the URL, so we cannot give space or anything. After I encode this thing, so what I have to do is I have to just simply use my string concatenation. Okay, before even I do that thing, I'm going to copy this text, come back here, concatenate, concatenate, and I'm going to say this is what I want to concatenate. Okay, but what I want to do that here is, instead of giving this text which is here, I'm going to simply say, what I want is, I want the column number, let me guess, the column which is B3. Okay, is it what I wanted? B3. No, I want actually B4. And then now you might be wondering that why this image has not still changed. This is still pointing to this URL, but we need to point to this URL which is C4. So I'm going to come here and then say, instead of this, I want C4. Once I save this thing, you can see that it's going to make a call, and then it didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? Let's try to guess. What is B4? Okay, that's my mistake. There is nothing in the B4. I ideally want C3. Okay, wow, ComicGen is awesome. So now at this point you can see that the text has appeared. You can see the character. Now let's say you want to add a chart. So all you have to do is go back to your data and then say, okay, my name, let's say name, and score, I'm going to say Apple, I'm going to say Samsung, and let's say Apple is 100, Samsung is 98, and I'm going to say Google is say 80. 80. Doesn't mean I'm an Apple fanboy, but yeah, I have to be true to the machine that I'm using currently. I've got a chart. After I make a chart, now I am going to get it. I'm going to get it and paste it here. So I'm going to expand it. So now we can paste it here. So basically what we have tried to do here is, we have tried to take a chart, and then we have tried to take a character that narrates to this thing. Now if you want this to combine, you can go here and then simply merge them. You can merge all. You can just merge whatever is required. So now you would actually see the data. So now if you want a different character as well, like dynamically, if you want to change, what's the other thing that you can do here is, the easiest thing is, let me add a couple of rows here, insert below, insert, let me use this, my concatenated string. Let me add a new tab. So I'm going to say, this is my string. Okay, nothing is there because I don't have the text, but we'll come to that later. Let's say I'm going to call my text, but that is not required at this point. What we need is, we need this character, right? We need this character. And then when we need this character, what do we need? The place where the character name changes. Okay, so now where the character name changes, let me say character name, and then let me say emotion. Okay, I want to play with two things. So my character name is here, which is name. I'm going to copy the first name, and then I'm going to paste it here. And the first emotion that we see here is smile. Okay, so I have the name and I have the emotion, and then that I wanted to give me this. So which means I'm going to say close my concatenation here. I'm going to say A2 comma, open my concatenation here, and then I'm going to come back to my, I'm going to come back to my concatenation. Ooh, that's bad. Undo it. Okay, I'm going to come back to my concatenation and then just say close it here, A2 comma, close it here, open it here, again close it here, open it, and then say what is the B2, then open it, close it. Okay, so at this point we are getting the name from there. So now I'm going to give an image, let's say somewhere here, and then the image is image of this. Okay, now when I have this thing, this looks fine, good. Let me make it big so you can see that the character is there. But what if I want to change the names? So I'm going to go back here and find some other names. So I'm going to say Priya. So I'm going to say Priya. Okay, Priya angry. And then I'm going to find the other character, which is, let's say Trump angry. Okay, Trump angry. So why should be Trump angry? Let me make him smile. Do we have any other emotion? Confused should be good. Trump confused. So when we have this thing, if you want the other characters, all I have to do is I have to drag down to the next 3. So if I do that thing, you would see paste. So nothing is happening because nothing has happened here at this point. Ideally it should start. Let me see why it has not started. Okay, did it start? F3 is Priya angry. Okay, let me just do it. Image of this, save it, and then just make it big and big. Let me say F2. Okay, F2 works. Let's figure out why F3 is not working. Does Priya have an angry emotion? Let me see. Okay, smile, angry. Let me go back here, here, and then go click Priya and then see. Okay, so Priya smile is there, and if I have to copy this, I think a lot of other characteristics that we have got for the first character may not be here because we are trying to hold coffee. Okay, so if I delete that, should ideally work. Okay, so we just have got face. Then if we have to go, yeah, we have got the Trump, and if we have to remove the angle, which is in this case, again, it's not available for Priya, so you can see Priya. So basically you just have to find the characters where you can play around with different parameters, and then you would get those different characters here. All you have to do is you have to use a different option. You can use a drop down as well, so you can go back to this tutorial and then see all different potentials that you have got, what kind of customization that you can do, what kind of things you can build. For example, if you see this example, so there is a data that says rise of female CEOs in Fortune 500 company, and then there is a comic strip that talks about it, that there is a conversation about it. So this is really an intuitive way of storytelling, especially like if you want to send a powerful message where there is a chart and there is a narration as well. Like you don't leave it ambiguous for the user to figure out, but if you want to make it more intuitive, that there is a discussion or conversation, this is definitely an amazing thing. There are a lot of characters, you can check it out. Like for example, there is the humans. You might have already seen this in a lot of different places. You can go and then select different type, and then you can basically play with the character that you prefer, and then you can use that character throughout your presentation one point or change it. The best thing is you can play around with this thing just on a spreadsheet as well. Like you don't need anything sophisticated. You don't need JavaScript, you don't need Python, you don't need anything, and you can basically make this thing with whatever you have just got. So and again, like if you want if you want something like what I want to say, if you want something like a comic, then you should definitely check out. So there are already good templates there. Like for example, you can go here and then you can go to their page, and then you would get a lot of references in this page for you to make charts like this. But again, if you're stuck somewhere, please let me know in the comment section. One more important thing that I would like to say is that if you're going to check this out, check this video at this point, like when I publish this thing, you have an amazing option to win some prizes, because at this point Gramener is running Data ComicGen Awards, so celebrating the best data comic storytellers. You can definitely go check out. The last date for submission is September 2nd, so you have really good amount of time for you to play with this. Download the data set, find out some insights, and make an intuitive comic story that your characters should discuss, like converse. So one of the judging criteria is do they actually talk, like there is a conversational dialogue happening, the storylining, the script. So this is an amazing opportunity if you're somebody who likes visualization, like to do storytelling, and also you want to add something new that not a lot of people would do. So this is definitely for you. Like there is no other eligibility other than you shouldn't be employee of Gramener, so you can play around with the existing Google Sheet. There are a lot of amazing judges who will judge your work. So if you are interested in ComicGen, you should definitely try it out. I don't know whether I'll have time to try it out, but you should definitely try it out. And then if you create something, please let me know, either on Twitter or wherever you share this message. I would love to see what you have created with the ComicGen. So this is your time to like win some award. But if you don't want to do that, you just want to play around with ComicGen, this is really a nice library, like an amazing library. And as you can see, this actually does a very good job of showing how to do storytelling in a more intuitive way. Like you introduce mascots or characters who talk about the story that you have, rather than the user automatically assuming what is happening. So that's ComicGen for you. Definitely check it out. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. If you create anything, I think there is a hashtag that the team would love for you to share it with. So yeah, definitely check out. I hope this video was helpful to you. Stay safe wherever you are. See you in the next video.